I am freezing and it's 27 degrees and I don't have gloves. So this video is, I wasn't going to film it because I did do this with Kamani last year, but I went on Instagram and I'm like, well, I did a story because Avalon is much different than Kamani, so she might pitch a fit trying to learn something new. She might not. So this video is going to be teaching Avalon to side pass to the fence and pick me up. Now you can use treats for this. I'm just now introducing her to target training, so probably going to use some treats and reinforcement, positive reinforcement. Now you can just get up on the fence and tap on them until they figure it out. I don't really like to. I like to make sure I can yield their hindquarters, yield their forequarters, and come on, and side pass them at least a little bit on the ground. Ah, you're not supposed to do that, and you know that. Can I have a kiss? Kiss, kiss. Can I have a kiss? Thank you. So we're just gonna get right into this video, and I will do a voiceover because it's too cold to stand and talk at the camera. That took longer than expected. It's been about 10 minutes. I whistled to this brat and she came over and I gave her a couple of treats, some loves, grabbed her halter, and that was it. She was gone. So I pushed her around a little bit, not much because the ground froze pretty hard last night. It's really, really icy out, so I don't want them running too much. Don't want them breaking a leg. And then got up to her again, gave her some treats, gave her some loves, wrapped the rope around her neck, and the minute I went to put the halter over her nose, she just bolted right through me. This is why I love having a round pin connected to the pasture. I don't let them in here besides to work or roll or do liberty. So I opened up the gate and they came right in. We're definitely going to work on, you don't get the treat now until after the halter's on. Okay, so we're going to yield her hindquarters. We did do both sides, but only showing one. We're going to move her shoulder now. I haven't done this with her in a while. She's a little jumpy, that's fine. But right there, she crossed over. So with the side passing and with the shoulder crossing over, you know, she's a little sticky, but I do see, you know, I can still get the job done, even if it's not done perfection. You know, it's not done. She is still moving the body part that I'm asking. So you can see her side pass isn't perfect, but she is moving her shoulder, her ribs, and her hind end. So we will eventually get that 100%. Right now, we're just kind of playing around with a bunch of other things. So here I'm getting on the fence, and we're going to get started. So it can be a little tricky. Avalon definitely knows how to pull against you. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to put the whip on the opposite side of the body. I'm going to tap the opposite side to have her move into me. And if she moves away, I'm going to apply more pressure. If she comes to me, I'm going to say yes and apply less pressure. So you can see here, I'm tapping her, I'm tapping her. She's not really getting it, obviously. It's her first time. So I kind of keep tapping, and I realize that's not getting me anywhere. So I put the whip on the opposite side of her head, and I kind of pop her neck or her shoulder. Just give her a little tap and encourage her to come back towards me. Kind of show her what I'm asking, and when she does, you can see I take off the pressure, I say yes, and I give her a treat and a break. So we're going to try it again. I'm going to apply some pressure on that side. More and more pressure, and she took a step, so I'm going to praise her, say yes, and give her a treat. Now, I think when I did this with Kamani, I don't think I gave her as many rewards. I was still learning, so I just kind of asked for the finished product. Obviously, we all make mistakes, but Kamani, as you guys have seen on my Instagram, she does it with just my hands, so she learned really well. So here, she started to move towards me. I took off the pressure a little bit, but I kept it because I still wanted her to keep coming over, and she just went the other way. So I kept applying pressure. Wasn't working, so I swapped the whip on the side that I'm asking her to move away from and continue to tap until she moves to me. That way it's kind of like blocking her eye and saying, hey, I'm tapping you on this side. I'm asking you to move away from that pressure, and this is in front of your eye as well. Now, you don't have to do this on both sides. You can do it just on one side, but I teach it on both. You never know what's going to happen or how you want to play around with them one day, so I always do both sides. So here, applied some pressure. She gave me a little bit, took off the pressure a little bit, and then she completely went over here again. So I'm just going to keep applying pressure. There, you can see I lighten up the pressure a little bit. And when she gets a little closer, then I'll give her a reward. So here we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to switch eyes, kind of help her. I'm going to move over so that she knows, okay, we're switching direction now. You can see she's a little more hesitant on this side. Real ear penny, she's always kind of been that way. And very active tail. She does not like the pressure. You see right there, she ducked out on me. And the first time I ignored it. So here I'm just spanking her butt, trying to get her to move over. The first time I ignored it, but after that, I take the whip and put it back on the side that she ducked out of because I don't want her learning it's okay to duck out of pressure. That's just something I don't think is good for a horse to learn. So here I'm going to ask her to move a little closer to the fence, and you see she gets confused. The more she moves away, the more pressure I'm going to add. There, you see she moves towards me, I take off the pressure. There, she's moving away, and she ducked out. I'm going to apply more pressure after I get my whip back on the correct side. There, she's trying to duck out again. I'm just going to keep my whip there by that eye. Say, hey, we're not doing that. Now I'm going to tap more. She took a couple steps. I take off the pressure for a second. Keep tapping. She took a couple steps, take off the pressure. There, she kind of moves the wrong way again. So I apply more pressure. There, you can see I kind of hold the whip up in the air for a second or two. Or I lay it on her back and I just stop when she goes the way that I want. I'm working on my timing. I know it's not perfect, but I'm getting there. So we changed direction again. I did a lot of changing direction. You can see there she's kind of pulling on me. My whip's not quite long enough, but I make it work. If I have to shorten her line or get a little closer to her. But she is not liking that correction. So you can see I could just take the whip and put it by her eye and tap her on the neck. If they're not getting it, you're tapping their withers, you're tapping their hindquarters, their rib cage. They're not getting it, you can always, right there, she got nice and close to the fence. You can always just take that whip and kind of tap that shoulder and put it by the eye, like I said earlier, and they're going to want to move away from that. They're not going to want to put their eye on that. I love this here. She's still very head high and very ear pinny. I hope eventually that goes away. I'd like to see her relax more. Here I have to laugh a little bit. You'll see she goes up to the fence, but she doesn't line up. Now, I don't expect her to line up 100% on the first day. We will get there. This is hilarious. I'm tapping the air, and then I start tapping her, kind of give her a chance there. She went the wrong way, but then you can see she quickly corrected herself when she realized, oh, I'm going the wrong way. Then she kind of went the wrong way again. But you see how fast she kind of fixed herself there. It just took her a split second, and she completely lined up to where and put her head down and smelled the ponies. I couldn't even slide hardly up to her. She had my foot jammed between the fence, but she was literally up against the fence. Now that's good for maybe an older person who can't put their foot in the stirrup and push themselves over. That's fine. But you see, I have to kind of figure out how to give her her treat. I'm like having to crawl. I can't reach. She can't reach my hand. Like, I literally had so much trouble trying to get my foot out. She didn't mean to. We will get there. So I had to just eventually give up on trying to slide over. And you can see here, she's like, I'm done. Where's my treat? And I'm like trying to tap on her, trying to get her to take it. And there, she finally went to take it and she dropped it. But then we tried one more thing. So right here I decided, will she do it on the ground? I wanted to try just to see about how much she absorbed that training session. And oh my gosh, she did. I was so proud of her. I cannot believe she just did that on the ground after learning that for the first time ever with me on the fence. So proud of that.